Having no debt, that's pretty.
What the heck?
Pretty low.
9
Pretty
at
low.
9? Yo, hey guys, find God, man. That should be like number 2 or 3. What the heck are you guys doing?
It's pretty low.
This is very
Yeah.
low. Divide between Gen Z men and Gen Z women. This is looking crazy. Fair use would be handy.
One of the things that really struck me when I looked at the data that came out of this was this generational divide. What struck you on that front?
What we found was a major gender gap among Gen Z. We talk about a gender gap. We see this in all age categories. It was even more dramatic among Gen Z, where Gen Z women, much more anti-Trump, much more progressive than Gen Z men. We asked them a very interesting question about how they define success in life. And what we found was when you break it down by gender and by politics, the divide between these two groups in just the basic question of success in life was profound. And I'll give you an example of this. Gen Z men who voted for Trump, okay, men under 30, what is their top definition of success in life? Having children. Gen Z women who voted for Kamala Harris, okay, so other end of the scale here, number 12 out of 12 on their list, having children. Much higher on the list for Gen Z women who voted for Harris was having a fulfilling career or job. And they also cited emotional stability in their lives, dramatically more likely to cite that than Gen Z men who voted for Trump.
Gen Z women that voted for Kamala Harris don't have having kids as a priority. Their priority is to become workers with careers and having mental stability.
Okay.
With men who voted for Trump under 30, having kids is the number one thing as a success, not working for others.
Okay. Then I understood it. Let's move to the next.
You want to bait it? You wanted to bait me, but
I wasn't gonna bait you, man. Come on. What do you think of me?
These are adults under 30 years. All right, Gen Z, these are adults under 30 years old. We thought we would ask a big picture question, what they think is most important to their personal definition of success. So we gave a whole bunch of different options here, and we asked folks in this poll, pick the 3 that you think are most important. The most commonly cited for Gen Z for success in life, to have a fulfilling job or career, to have the money to do the things you want to do. What was most surprising about this poll, though, was there were massive differences between how men and women in Gen Z answered, and there were huge differences politically. When you combine those two things, gender and politics in Gen Z, and you ask about what's important to success, they are worlds apart. Look at this. Men, Gen Z, men under 30 who voted for Donald Trump, what were they most likely to say makes for a successful life? Having children. Number 1, women, Gen Z, voted for Kamala Harris. Where's having? Wow. All the way down here at the bottom. Couldn't be more opposite. Second to last for women who voted for Harris was being married. Being married, look at this, near the top of the list for men who voted for Donald.
look at the list. Look at the list. Having children, achieving financial independence. So it's not about having a job. It's about reaching financial independence. That's totally different. It could be being an entrepreneur.
It doesn't have to be, but it doesn't have to be entrepreneurship, but it's about you're working because you have a goal in mind.
Yeah, you're having a career. They don't care about career. They're big. They're going for the big kahuna, the big payout. Let's continue. What else do we have? Job, career, fulfilling. Number 3, being married. 4, having enough money to do the things you want. Well, if you're financially independent, that usually works out that way.
Usually.
Owning your home at 6. Well, number 7, being spiritually grounded. What is? Let me see.
Trump. Another huge.
Making something of the community.
Let me see. Where are you? Are you at 8? Making
another huge difference. A very common answer. More opposite. Second to last for women who voted for Harris was being married.
Let me check.
There's no, you had it.
Well, this is
that's something else.
Top of the list for men
trying
who
to get
voted
to
for
this
Donald
one.
Trump.
Yeah.
Another.
It just doesn't. Yeah, there it is.
Making your family or
proud. Okay.
Community proud. Having no debt, that's
Yo,
pretty.
what the heck?
Pretty low.
9
Pretty
at
low.
9? Yo, hey guys, find God, man. That should be like number 2 or 3. What the heck are you guys doing?
It's pretty low.
This is very
Yeah.
low.
That's
I guess people don't try to live debt free. It's if you want to get a mortgage, that's hard as well to do, right? But
yeah. You
Come
need
on,
more.
man.
No, I was gonna make a joke that you need more debt, more debt, more.
more than
I
that.
was
Yeah.
like, yeah, with that.
I need to get my credit score up. Guess what? In order to do that, you have $1 million in debt. Yeah, what? Hey, man, let's continue. Hey, let's continue to the next one. Let's see what he has to say about the females.
A very common answer for Gen Z women who voted for Harris was having emotional stability. For Gen Z men who voted for Donald Trump, you got to go all the way to the bottom to find.
So this basically tells you that men don't care about their own mental health. They'll sacrifice
I don't know
their
if that's a
their-
good thing or not.
Trump supporters under 30 men, they will sacrifice their mental health for their family. If that ain't masculinity, I don't know what is.
That's toxic. That's toxic masculinity. It's toxic.
It is what it is, but someone is sacrificing. I guess if I would have to guess, if you put the man who voted for Kamala, they would probably look in the neighborhood of what the women want.
Yeah.
Well, not what they want, what the women have as answers. But yeah, man, crazy.
Find that one. These are some
It's a
core basic
huge
questions
gap.
about how people think about life. And you can see here this rising generation in this country, very far apart.
And you know what's interesting about this is that
What?
you clearly can see that there is with Gen Z men tend to be more conservative than Gen Z women. They seem to be more liberal. So what you'll get is will become a huge gap in life philosophy between two genders, which is quite crazy if you think about it. Usually, majority of the people back in the days were kind of in the middle, but I guess.
Well,
the
the U.S. is a very I always forget the word.
polarizing.
It's polarized, but it has to be polarizing. When it's either or, black or white. What's it? I forgot what the term is.
That's a Michael Jackson song, yeah.
Doesn't get more polarizing than that.
Monochrome. It's
No.
very monochrome.
Come on, man.
Oh man, continue whichever you want to say.
It's either or, right? But life isn't like that.
Yeah.
But in the US, it's either you're, let's say, if you tell someone that you disagree with their beliefs, they automatically push you to the other side of the spectrum, whether it be like political philosophy, religion,
Yeah,
your
crazy.
stance. It's just, oh, you're saying something against certain country, for example. What was the country, KaiR? Got the country.
I know a good country you can use. Let's use
Turkmenistan. Was it Turkmenistan? What did you use?
Kazakhstan
yeah.
as a
So,
example.
So someone will say Kazakhstan, exactly like Kazakhstan. If you say I disagree with one thing on the policy of Kazakhstan, you're anti-Kazakh, and so on and so forth. And so you get that without, and so I don't think that you can have a debate you very quickly end up in an argument with someone, especially because there are a lot of dumb people walking around. So, but to get back to where I was saying, you do see a divide, you do see a division. And I think for now, it's going to get bigger. KaiR, women are not interested in having kids.
Yeah, if you look
They look at it.
the Harris.
They look, yes, okay. I'm talking about like.
In general, I do agree with you on that. It's not number one anymore.
Well, let me just put it like this.
In general,
Usually when they go to college, you see a drop in. So the higher they're educated, the bigger the drop in their desire to have kids. They have a lot of things to lose. You know, they really see kids as liabilities
for their career.
For their career that they don't like sometimes, but they see it. But they see it.
You had to put that way.
They see it, and I never understood. They say the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and I have to say I do understand. But let me just say what I never understood, and then I'm a bit hypocritical because I do understand kind of. It's lack of trust in men, and I'll tell you why. If the shortest, they want to. Usually, you see it with professionals in my field as well. They work very hard, only focus on career, and then they reach an age, let's say at 33, 34, then they just want to make a switch, miraculous switch. But then why did you spend all those years focusing on a career and then you're switched, and then you're going to slow down? So if you wanted to slow down in the first place, why don't you start slowed down?
Yeah,
you know, instead of working at a big firm, you can work at a middle firm. But what I said to understand, I do think that there's a lack of trust in men to be there for them. You know, so I think that's the reason. There are a lot of distrust between the sexes and on all generations, but you do see it more clearly with Gen Zers. But there's a difference, and they don't know what they want. They don't know who they are, and they don't know how they are being.
Or they drank the Kool-Aid.
They drink every single day.
Which color? Which color?
Every single time they well, if it's, I mean, if the Kool-Aid is
red, it's this one.
No, it depends. KaiR. The watermelon is usually the other one.
Yeah, but it's not watermelon, this one.
It's a grape.
Grape juice, whatever it is. It's this one. They always choose this one. But hey, people start believing in drinking the Kool-Aid. They don't understand what is happening, and I do agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Which results in problems when people try to, in their early 30s, try to find a boyfriend, try to find a dad, try to find a partner within 2 months. 2 years. That's 2 years. It's gonna end up disastrously. Either baby daddy, baby mama. It will either result in a marriage that won't last because you don't know each other that well, so you try to rush into things, and of course a lot of unhappy people, both the man because he thinks he's getting fooled because she was preaching certain things at the beginning of their relationship to get the relationship, and wait after you got the relationship and you have the kid, and then it all changes back to whatever default she wants to go to. So hey, I would say it's a very interesting topic, and I think a lot of people need to stop drinking the Kool-Aid. By the way, it's Kool-Aid on both sides.
Yeah.
People are drinking. It's amazing to me how people are falling for the trap, and the trap is people only see things, like you said, black and white. There is no nuance in whatever they are looking at. You gotta be able to assess things from both sides of the fence in order to assess whether the middle is the best situation. And people are just going haywire. It's either you get a kid at that moment or you don't, or hey, it is what it is, guys.